This is the inside of the Swift Lifestyle 4. If I firstly move to the main control panel, I can turn the 12 volt on just here. Once I've done this, you can now see that all of the interior lights have come on. These can all be turned on and off on their own individual switches. We also have a light on just here, just letting us know that we're currently connected to mains electricity and that we are also using the caravan leisure battery as well. If I now press view levels, we will get a condition reading of the leisure battery, and if we were hitched up to a tow vehicle, it would also give us a condition reading on that as well. Water pump on and off just here. We need the water pump on so we can get water out of the taps and fill the boiler if it has been drained down. Beside this control panel, we then have the Truma control panel for the heating and hot water system. If I now press the button just here, it will illuminate, and as you can see, we get the time, and again it's also indicating that we're connected to mains electricity. If I now press the button, we'll get a series of icons, and as I begin to rotate the button, they will start to flash. So if we start with the first icon just here, this one is for your heating, and if I now click on it, heating is off, and all I need to do now is just rotate the button and select whatever temperature I would like it inside the caravan, right the way up to 30 degrees. So if I now select 22 degrees and I now press the button, this will now store it in, and you'll see a flame has appeared above. That flame there just represents the heating system, and it's just letting you know that you've set a parameter. Whenever the heating is in operation, the flame will begin to flash, and it will continue to flash until it's achieved the temperature you have asked. If I now press the button again and rotate to the next icon, this one here is for your hot water, and again if I now click on it, hot water is off, and if I now rotate, we can heat hot water in eco mode, which will give us a temperature of about 40 degrees. If I rotate again, we can heat in hot mode, which is a water temperature of about 60 degrees. And if I rotate again, we can also perform a boost on the boiler. The boost was mainly designed for if there's going to be more than one of you having showers in quick succession of each other, or if you just want hot water very quickly. If you do perform the boost and the heating's running, it will turn the heating off as it needs to use that extra power. And again, the icon will continue to flash until it's achieved the temperature you have asked. The next icon is power source selection. So at the moment, to do both heating and hot water, I am using mains electricity using 2 kilowatts, indicated by the 2 lightning strikes up there. If I rotate the button, I can lower the power consumption to 1 kilowatt. Very handy if we're on a low amp site to try and avoid tripping. If we have both power sources available to us, we can put it into a dual fuel mode, so a mixture of gas and mains at 2 kilowatts, or a mixture of gas and mains at 1. These two settings are very handy, especially in the winter months if you want to get up to temperature nice and quickly, and it will only consume the gas as it's required. And then lastly, if we have no main supply, we can just solely run on gas. After power source selection, we then have the circulation fan for the heating system. So we can either have the fan in eco mode or high. If I now drop to the lower icons, this first one here is for a basic timer. So if I now click on it, it will ask you when you would like the timer to begin, and then when you would like the timer to end. And then once you've done that, just select what you would like on within that time period. So let's say we want the heating on at 19 degrees. We want water at 60. We want to be using dual fuel, and we'll leave the circulation fan on eco. Once we've done all that, timer on or off. And if I now activate the timer icon will come up there. And whenever the timer is in operation, it will flash. If I now go back into it, I can now turn the timer back off, and then the next time we go into it we can then alter it again. After timer set, we then have clock set. And then lastly, we have the settings menu just here. So within this, we have offset, which is just for the thermostat, just there. If you don't think it's quite correct, you can just slightly adjust it. We have temperature, whether it's displayed in Celsius or Fahrenheit. Brightness of this screen. 12 or 24 hour clock. Language. Index, this is just information mainly for the technicians. And then lastly, full factory reset. So from time to time, these particular control panels can throw up error codes. The main ones you will get are, I do not have main supply, or I do not have gas. An error code will appear as a warning triangle and then a series of numbers and letters, and then if you look in the manual or you Google it, it will then tell you what the problem is. 9 times out of 10, as long as you rectify the problem, the error code will just automatically disappear. If that's not the case, just go back to the warning triangle and then just double click on it, and it will then usually display no error and then just disappear. If you still have no luck with that, if you still have anything running like I do at the moment, just go back to it and turn everything off, because the control panel can reassess a lot faster when it's not trying to do lots of things at once. If you still have no luck with that, I then suggest the good old-fashioned turn it off, turn it back on again. And the way we turn it off is just by holding the button in until it says off. If when you turn it back on you still have an error code, I always then just say do the factory reset, because sometimes that's all that is required. Another error code you will get is if this control panel is turned on and you then turn this one off, because they are linked. So as you can see, we now have a warning triangle, and if I now click on it, you'll see it says W255H is just indicating that it's lost signal with the control panel. And if I now turn the panel back on again, you will now see that the warning triangle has disappeared and the control panel is now working absolutely fine. If I now just come down to the bench seat just here and remove the cushions, and I now just remove this section here, you can see the Truma boiler just here. To drain the boiler down for either winterization or for travel, it's just done on a yellow lever, and this yellow lever just sits underneath where the actual water pump is in this caravan. So all you need to do is just stick your finger underneath it just here, and then just make sure the water pump is turned off, and then just flick it up like so, and it will then drop all the water out of the boiler underneath the caravan. If you are fully winterizing the caravan, I always suggest that you then also go around and open up all of the taps as well, because this will help release any airlocks in the system and make it drain down far more efficiently. When it comes to refilling, make sure the taps are closed. Return to the yellow lever just underneath the water pump and just flap it back over again, and then it will then reclose it. Make sure that you've then filled up your aqua roll, and then turn on the water pump, and then the water from the aqua roll will begin refilling the boiler back up. Let the pump run for a few minutes and then begin opening taps up. Once they are running freely on both hot and cold, reclose, and then the system will fully reprime itself. Also in here we have the consumer unit. So we have the trip switches just here. So we've got the individual MCBs, main RCD and test button just here. And then we have the 12 volt fuses just here. And again, they are all numbered up. So if anything is not working on mains or 12 volt, just check to see whether you've tripped or blown a fuse. And they all correspond on the sticker just here. We then have two isolator switches just here for components that use mains electricity. So if this amber one is not turned on here, you will definitely get an error code on your Truma control panel if you're trying to do either heating or hot water on main supply. So really this can just be left on. It is more for maintenance than anything else. We then have the green one just here, which is for the battery charger just here. So again, if this is turned off, you will not be charging the leisure battery when connected to mains electricity. This will illuminate if you have reverse polarity connected to the caravan. This can sometimes be found on some continental sites. And then we have the control board for the power touch motor mover just here. If I now just move across to the other bench seat and again just remove the cushions and again just lift up, we just have the alarm box just here, and then we have the PIR sensor for the alarm just there. You'll also find some more 12 volt fuses just here, and again they are labelled up, and they're mainly for components on the outside of the caravan. In the overhead locker just here is the radio. As you can see, it is USB and auxiliary CD player in the top. On and off on the button that says source just here. And then change tracks or search for radio stations just on the arrows just here. Volume control. And then if you need to get into its setup to change anything, just literally hold the button down that says display. And then just navigate on the volume control just here. And anything you need to change, just press. Solar panel regulator just here. You do not need to do anything with this. It will just smart charge the caravan battery as it's required. Whenever you get a solid green light, as we have at the moment, it's just indicating that the battery is either fully charged or it's just in float mode. Whenever it's popping a charge into the battery, this light will change from green to red. Microwave just here. Always advisable to remove any contents for travel. This will work when the caravan is connected to mains electricity. We have the fairly normal stuff that you find on most microwaves. Quick start just here, stop just here, and then we have all the defrost, auto cooks, etc. The microwave is just plugged in here. Three-way Thetford fridge just here, and to turn the unit on just press the button, and then to select what power source you want to be using just hold the grey button in just here. So at the moment we're using main supply because we're connected to mains electricity, but to change it, if I now just hold, you'll see it begins to flash, and then we just use our arrows. So we can pop it on to 12 volt maintain, and this is what we need it on to keep the fridge cold whilst we're on the move. It will only work once you're connected to a tow vehicle. So if I actually select that at the moment, you'll see it will all flash at us, and we've got a red flashing light just here, just indicating that there is a problem. And then if I now hold it down again, we can pop it onto gas. Again, alter the temperature as well. And again, if it's a problem with either gas or main supply, again it will flash and you'll get a red light just indicating that there is a problem. Gas isolation taps just here. They are colour coded and then they match on the sticker, but to be fair, they're all in the on position, and quite frankly they can stay like that. They're more for maintenance than anything else. I always say, if you do smell gas in the caravan, go to the source and turn off the gas bottle. 3 gas burner rings just here, and it's just a matter of pushing in, twisting and pushing the igniter. Grill beneath it. And then beneath that you'll find the oven. Freestanding table just here, and then above my head you will find the Omnivent fan. To use this, firstly wind the roof vent open, and then middle button turns the unit on, and then you'll see you've got arrows out for extraction and arrows in for cooling, and it's variable fan speed just by pressing. Always make sure that the roof vents are fully closed for travel. In the wardrobe you will find the digital amplifier for the television aerial on the roof. On and off just on the top just here. Always make sure it's on before trying to tune a TV in, and then you can control the boost just on the dial there. We then have the basin and the washroom. So we have the shower and then the toilet. So to open to the cassette, just slide the grey lever across just here and then push the flush just here. Level indicator just here, so it will let you know when the cassette needs emptying, and then just close back up again. If this has been left open and you try to remove the cassette from the outside, it will not come out, so if you do feel resistance, just make sure that nobody has left it open. Rear fixed bed holds up on gas struts, and as you can see there is plenty of room beneath it. And you'll also find the spare wheel underneath here as well. TV bracket just here, and then we have the plug-in points for a TV and the aerial itself. The front bed is nice and straightforward to make. Just pull the slats out and then just drop the 2 back cushions into the centre,